Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to do something slightly different. In fact, we're going to call it Aaron's Tech Review. And the idea of this one is that I've had to go and purchase a new piece of equipment for our office. And I think it's time that we explain to you guys why we chose the one that we chose. And if I'm completely honest with you, you'll find out if I've made the right choice as well, because it's not even opened yet. So join me as we have a look and find out which scanner we've gone for in 2023. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, and also head of account here at Boffix. Now in today's video, normally we'll be talking about the scanner that we've always used at our offices, which I can only show you on the iPad, is this scanner here. Now this is the, what do they call it? It is the ScanSnap IX 6000, or 600 should I say. Really rolls off the tip of the tongue, that one. But the idea is that these type of scanners here, as you can just see just there, are very expensive for what they are, but when it comes to what we use it for, is a very good investment of our money. Now sure, we have printers with scanners on top, and we have our mobile phones that we can use to take photos and scan things if we need to. And we did have at some point those little portable scanners as well. So we've always had options to scanning facilities, but I promise you that for what we need it for, having a dedicated proper scanner is the absolute must. If I tell you that that's an example for the sort of letters that we get that we need to scan through and get over to our clients, kind of puts it all into perspective. Now, throughout our offices throughout the UK, we actually have a few of these actually dotted around individual locations. And normally this is all we'll ever need. But the problem is twofold. Number one, as at the time of recording, when I went to order them, there was none left in stock. Where in hindsight, it might mean that there's an updated version of this coming along, which means that all of the negatives I'm about to go through with that particular solution there might be completely irrelevant. As good as the hardware is on that scanner, where generally for us, it takes us longer to take the letters out of the envelopes and just to actually scan them through to its relevant areas, the software has always been something that's let us down. And I don't mean the software our end. Our end, we've got automation so that as soon as we press that scan button, we get it so it's sent to the right client, and then that client gets informed that they've got a letter that's been uploaded. And with this really slick solution, which means that we can make sure we're always on top of our scanning. The software though is about the software that connects the interface from that scanner to our network, to our computers. And in fact, at one point we had to have its own dedicated computer sat in an office that's own prime existence was to connect the scanner, because we were sick and tired of the scanner always having to be disconnected and reconnected, and if a laptop taken away and all that sort of stuff. So at one point, to make that scanner work for us, that was the option. Now there's another reason why we chose this particular scanner, I'm about to show you in a minute, and that's because of the connection options. It states in its literature that it actually connects to QuickBooks Online, and that's something that could be really exciting. Right, so enough about the talk, let's get straight into it. And let's go and find out exactly what it is that we went and purchased. So what did I go for? Well, I went for this, the Raven scanner. Original, apparently. Not sure what other options there are. And normally I'm the sort of person who goes and does lots and lots of videos, watches lots of YouTube videos before I make my decision. Problem being, there wasn't actually many videos on this particular unit. So either it's terrible and it's going to go back very, very soon, or no one else has really got around to getting that video in. So let's have a quick open and see what it is. Okay, so this is a bad first start. Please do not return to the place of purchase. I don't know if you can see that or not. So maybe I'll be stuck with this for as long as it takes. So I've got my document feeder. Well, straight away, I'm not impressed with the amount of packaging in this device, but you know, win some, you lose some. I have a USB B to USB-A network cable, that could be quite handy. The rest of the power brick, another power adapter, and the device itself. So why did I go for this particular device? Well, price and spec wise, it kind of came in around about the same as the Fujitsu ScanSnap. So it looked like I was having the opportunity to have like for like in theory. But what this was hopefully going to be able to do was A, it said it was much more compatible with the Mac, which is definitely useful for us. But the emphasis on this one is scan directly to the cloud, and you'll notice that once we get rid of this front page here, it has a full touchscreen on it as well, which means hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it set up. And again, one of the things that highlighted to me and made myself look a little bit more excited was, if we can just get that into focus as best possible, it says here scan direct to email, fax or cloud destinations, and it even says QuickBooks Online is one of those destinations. So that piqued my interest. It's got built-in editing, which we probably won't use, to be honest, although it does do crop, rotate, adjust, name and remove pages. So actually that could be quite useful, because at the moment we would scan something in and then have to edit anything as it comes along. Convert paper documents into searchable PDFs with OCR technology built directly in. We love OCR technology. Windows and Mac PC compatible. So yeah, it's called the Raven Original Document Scanner. Huge touchscreen, color duplex reader, wireless scanning to cloud, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, USB home or office desktop 2nd gen. So yeah, I mean, for us, it seems to hit all of the places. Again, it's expensive. 300 odd quid for a scanner is pretty expensive to use, but the amount of times it saves us from actually getting data in digitally is actually important. And for us, again, once we've got that document in digitally, then we've got a lot of automations that we can do to make things work quite well. So I'm going in this completely blind. I'm just going to try and see if I can get this to work without having to worry too much about instructions and everything else, and see how far that takes me. It looks like there's an option to take this up some way, one way or another. Bit of a heel opportunity. I assume this can go here, like that, like so. Anything I've still not figured out as I open this up. Okay, so quick power delivery setup, and let's rock and roll. It's interesting, at the back here it says not required. What port's that over? Oh, that's the USB B port. Okay, so that one's not required apparently. Always good to know. Ethernet in there. And to start with, I'm just going to have these two connected and see how far we get. All right, let's press power on for the first time. Let's see how we're doing on this. I'm sure you'll be able to see the screen all that way. You see a nice little raven when you pop up. Oh, there we are, little raven floating around. New update software is required, so let's update. Downloading update. Oh, it needs a Raven account. So let's get the Raven account up and running. Yeah, I'm happy to install my latest update. Okay, when I say update, firmware update, good to me. I'm not going to be petty, but normally seeing that little sign there would be enough for me to walk away from this product. But I'm going to give it a go. But it does want me to log in, so let me try and figure out how to log in. Looking at the options on here, I've got options to set up folders and archive areas, and I can do history and trash. One thing I'm struggling to find at the moment is how we get this over to QuickBooks. I assume that, so this is where I had to log into to kind of set it all up. I assume this is going to be my my first area, my where the documents are going to go to, and we'll see how powerful that is. Android is upgrading, 11 out of 55.
A few moments later.
All right then, so that setup took no time whatsoever. In fact, actually, compared to that Fujitsu one, again, it's far, far quicker, because the problem we had with that one is there was so many missing parts and all this and the other. With this though, we're up and running. Straight away, we've got a nice big screen here. It's telling me what I can do. I've got slides. If I want two-sided, I want it in colour. Do I want OCR on or off? I think actually let's enable that. Why is no one friends with Dracula? Because he's a pain in the neck. So you make some jokes as well. Top right corner, I've got a settings button. From there, I can look at contact settings, network, switch users, log out. So just to bear that in mind, for me to even have access to it, I had to create a Raven account. So that might be something that could put people off. I've got the opportunity to go straight to my Raven cloud. I've got email, I've got fax. If I view all though, and bring this in here, you can see the destinations I've got. And this is the exciting bit. So I've got Boffix, Clio, Dropbox, Evernote, Google Drive. That's actually really useful for our firm because we use Google Drive a lot, so I might look into that one. But here we are, QuickBooks. There we are. So visit raven.com, connect to setup. So, aha, here we are. Let's set up my QuickBooks one. Okay, this is looking very promising. So, okay. So, it's asking me, do I want to connect the Raven to my case study client? I do indeed. Let's see how this is going to work. All right. So your QuickBooks is connected with Raven Cloud. So this is really exciting. So I'm actually not only going to do a letter, but let's kind of document it as well. So I've got a trusty document just here, my trusty receipt and a letter. Let's do the letter first then. So destination selected, save, loading destinations. So just in the background there, what I also did was, if I just refresh this page now, so I have connected now Google and QuickBooks on there. So we're going to see straight away how powerful this connection can be. So on this screen here, I don't need a fax machine, so I probably want to get rid of that somehow. Untick maybe. Can I manage connections, loading destinations, Raven Cloud selected. Is there any way of turning the fax off? No, not the end of the world. Okay, so I've got an email address in there as well, the QuickBooks Chap at boffix.com. So let's try a few of these things out then. So, wonderful. Destination saved. Okay, let's get our first item in then. It's a nice little letter to go through. So I can put a letter in here. So destination, I've got Raven Cloud ticked, Google Drive ticked, and, well, this isn't a receipt, so we don't need that one. But Google Drive, let's scan, let's see what happens. Straight away, nice and quick, that's what we like to see. See, straight away, that's the whole premise of how this works. So normally I would have had all this set up, and straight away I can see here, I actually did it in the wrong way now, that way. So I can click into individual docs, and I can look in Zoom and everything else. Can I change the order? Reorder there, look. Oh, I'm liking this. This is something you couldn't do on the scan stuff. You just had to accept the fact that the order was what you did it in. But in this case, I can bring this one over here. I can basically put it in the order it should be. So now I've put it into the page order that I want. I can apply. I can name the document. Has it already given a name for something? Let's have a look. So no name. So I'm not going to name it because I want to see what name it's applied to it. I could reorder. I could add an extra page by scanning one through, remove one, edit the email if I need to. But let's send to 3 destinations. And now it's moving from there. Now, the bad point is that this bit here seems to be taking longer than it would have done normally, but I assume that's because I'm going to all those destinations. In truth, probably wouldn't want to send it to all of them all at the same time. Normally, I would just be going to this bottom one here, Google Drive, which seems to be instant. So let's first of all see what's happened. So we've got loading destinations going in the corner there. Let's have a look. Let's go back to the Raven Cloud. So yeah, it's done the date. Is that date? No, that's not date. What would that be? That'll be representing nothing on the file I can think of. I have got the email come through on the side though, so the email's come through. Hello, Aaron Patrick. Document we've used, has shared document we've used. And please find the documents attached. And they've just been attached with the same name. I don't know where it's got the name from. I'm going to be completely honest. What we're used to, just to give clarity for that, and used to in the other software is that it would name it based on what it's read from the OCR technology. If I was to go into settings though, can I change that though? So settings, multi-feed, remove punch holes, auto orientation, scan brightness, default file name. So you can't make it to be something other than just the name. So okay. So the moment of truth's really going to be if I disable probably those two and just have it to Google Cloud. This time round, put it through the way I think it's intended, where it's backwards in that way round, and then I press scan. Nice and quick, so I like to see. Scan pages. How long does this bit take? See, that's not terrible, but it's also not brilliant. You see, this is the bit where for me, maybe we kind of makes it a little bit of a less desirable product to use, because I get the premise and everything else of saving time, but it's taking too long to send that information. Now, if there's an opportunity, and I'm pretty sure there is, I've just got to find it, where we can connect it to a computer and it's instantly just scanning straight in. So if I went to manage my destinations, I press add, yeah, here we go, network, destination. So I could actually get it sent directly to a network area. That is probably where I'm going to be send it to be, or a group or an FTP. So yeah, so this is probably, if I'm completely honest, where I'm going to get the most benefit from. If I can get it to a network location, that way I could put the IP address in, put the folder share name in, get all that stuff over there. It's going to be much quicker to get my information over there. I mean, I can get things done in a much more quicker manner. If I was to actually look at my Google Drive, Raven scans have been created and those two ones are already there. So that's brilliant. So final bit then is what happens if I send it over to QuickBooks? Is this going to revolutionize the way that we do things around here? So I've got my receipt in there. This time round, I'm going to not go to Google Drive, only to QuickBooks, press scan, see what happens. So scanning pages, error occurred. No document was detected in the feeder tray. Please ensure all insert into the feeder tray at the top of the scanner. Press OK. Try again. Error occurred again. Okay, doesn't like a receipt. Is it because it's too light? Or is it because it's curved maybe? No, doesn't like it at all. Try different. Let's try this bad boy of a receipt. Scan that one. Error occurred. Document feed jammed. Paper occurred. Please follow the steps. Oh, okay, so this is how you open it. Okay. Try that one more time. Pages. Okay, it doesn't like the fact it gets to that one. That's annoying. Okay, let's go with a bill. Trusty bill. Get that one in and press scan. Okay, so we've found everything, which looks good. Send to QuickBooks. Brilliant. It's been sent successfully. Out of curiosity, before I quickly go to QuickBooks, I just want to press scan, see if it can find. Now, for whatever reason, this receipt is just too small with a another piece of paper next to it. Does it take it? Let's have a look. It has that time. That's gone through. Okay, so there's potential then of getting some of the items in. Let's see what happens. In this case, we don't need those ones. So if I was to remove, that one and that one, remove pages, send to QuickBooks. So we've sent 2 items over to QuickBooks now. Let's head over to QuickBooks itself. Let's have a look. Let's go to attachments, load in. There they are, Raven scans, both of them are there. So what can I do? I can create an expense out of it. Unfortunately, it's not using the OCR technology though. Yeah, but it does work. I mean, it's coming into this area for me, so the items there. What QuickBooks needs to do to make this more useful then is to be able to let us use receipt capture from here. But I could create an invoice, or I can create an expense out of it. I can't create a bill, which is annoying, but I could create an invoice and have that connected. Or I can create an expense. So yeah, it does what it's intended. It sends it to QuickBooks and looking good. Now, obviously I can just download it, and then I could just go into expense or receipts, and then I could use receipt capture. Or with the new fancy system, I can actually go expense suppliers, or expense bills, should I say. For review, I could add bill, or load from computer, press upload, and I could bring that one in just from there. So, yeah, there's ways of doing it that way round. I'm not 100% sure or convinced that this is that much better or that much easier than send it there, but it is a solution that's there. The fact it's got the app connectivity I quite like. You could also change it so that You could set the email on here to be the receipt capture email, and you'll get it sent through there. So there's ways in which you can work around it. I think QuickBooks just needs to maybe make it a little bit better in terms of the receipt or attachment management area to really nail this bit and to make the most out of it. But yeah, so far I'd say it's the perks of this one is that with this wonderful screen here, get a lot more functionality. I can definitely see this being a lot more foolproof. Straight away, I've not had to mess around with connections and apps and all that, and connections to my computer and all that sort of stuff. So straight away, I've got that better. I think what I need to figure out is if it's quicker at sending things, if I use, back to that manage area, is it quicker if I was to use the add location and just add a location where it's going to go from there? I suspect it should be. There's also actually an opportunity to do to USB drive. And I've not looked enough into it, but I imagine if I plug, I mean, there's this here, isn't there? So if I plug this into the PC, what am I going to get into the Mac? What do I get? Is there an option for me to do it from there? And I think that way it must be a lot quicker. And I think that's my only downside to this at the moment. It seems that because we're using cloud technology, it's having to wait that 30 seconds or so to get it over. Which to me is a little bit of a frustration because that means I've got to kind of get everything all set up and it just makes it a little bit more time. But then again, by the time that I've gone through and opened the next letter, I'm probably at a position where I could send it off. So it's not the end of the world doing it that way. But there, what do you think? Do you think this is something that could work in your practice or in your business? I personally, compared to competition out there, I'm really liking it. I think it's going to be straightforward, simple, the sort of one where I can happily send it over to another maybe team member and know that they're going to be able to get this off the ground. I don't have that comfortability with the Fuji scan snap scenario. That's too many things that could go wrong on that one, which has gone wrong in the past and gives us problems going forward. So yeah, for us, I think it's a nice little bit of kit. The fact it's got QuickBooks integration ticks all my boxes, gets me happy. And yeah, we're going to see how we go with this one and go from there. What do you think to this video though? Is this something you want us to go into more details in? We've got loads of hardware and tech that we use around this office. If it's something you'd like us to go through as well, let us know and we'll make sure that we do that going forward. So with all that in mind, we're going to sign off from here. Let us know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see this doing or if there's any other piece of tech you want us to review. And with that in mind, my name's been Patrick. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff for this particular video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.